Good morning, everybody from Dana Point. How you doing? Another beautiful Saturday morning. We are going to share one of my best communication tips of all time with you. This is Dana Point Harbor. Some paddle boarders out here this morning. And bear with me, I'm going to pop a lens on this and turn the camera around and get the show going. If we can make this work. Hey, there we go. How's that look, everyone? Does that look okay? Grab my coffee. What's going on this morning? Going for a run? But before I do, I wanted to share with you probably one of my best communication tips of all time. Hey, good morning, Scotty. Thanks for joining me. Go ahead and tweet this out, guys. Share this with your audience. Oh, we should. I'll tell you what, we can walk too. I know, Nicole, I've got to come up to LA. We'll do a run. Or maybe at one of the conventions that we're going to have a chance to meet each other at. But game plan this morning is to head down right over my shoulder, and there's on the other side of that pier is a beach. We're going to do a little toes in the sand. Sup? Good to see you. And my name's Mitch Jackson, senior partner Jackson & Wilson. 30 years of trying cases, negotiating multi-million-dollar settlements, and obtaining multi-million-dollar jury verdicts. And I have a blog. It's called Trial Lawyer Communication Tips for Everybody. And what I try to do is share good trial lawyer communication tips that I picked up over the years that anybody can use. Anybody can use to make a sale, to present from the stage, to keynote, whatever it might be. And it's at mitchjackson.com. So head on over there if you're looking for weekly trial lawyer tips, things that'll help you communicate your message and sing your song to the audience. But what I want to share with you today, good morning by the way, is probably one of the most powerful trial lawyer communication tips that I use and most experts don't focus on. Most of the experts out there right now on social will tell you telling your story, learning how to tell a good story is critical to having your message heard, to persuasively communicate to your audience. And while telling a good story is important, it's not the most important thing you need to do when you're communicating. People will tell you you have to build trust and rapport, and you have to be transparent. You have to be able to connect with your audience. All of those things are critically important too. But if you'd like to know something that's, in my opinion, 10 times more important, 10 times more powerful than telling a good story, then that's what I want to share with you today. You catching anything down there?
Not that bad.
Can we take a look? Let's go see what this gentleman caught right there. Oh, that's a nice sized bass. Good job. He's checking his pole right there, seeing if it's moving. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey.
Yeah, it's a small world. Those are parents of a player on my son's soccer team. Oh yeah, it's a small world. It's great. But here's the deal. Check out this fishing boat. I want to share with you the most powerful thing you can do when you're communicating your message. For all you lawyers out there, this is critical. Speakers, critical. Salespeople, critical. Learn how to do everything else that you're hearing about online, but the most important thing you need to do is you have to learn how to empower your audience. You have to learn how to give your audience permission, give your audience the power, the drive, the desire to take action on your message. Without that, nothing else matters. You can tell the best story in the world. You can get people all jacked up and interested in listening to what you have to say. But unless they're empowered to take that next step, unless they're empowered to take action on your message, nothing's going to happen. When I'm trying cases and when good trial lawyers are trying cases, we can put on the best trial in the world, present all the evidence, all the facts, all the right witnesses. But unless that jury, 12 people we'd never met before, when they go back into the, hey, thanks for the hearts, hey, Doug, thanks for joining me. Nicole, I don't know if you're still there, but it's always good to see you in the morning. She's got a great blog, by the way, you guys, great podcast, Gen Y podcast. Nicole Abud, It's the Gen Y, and she spells it W-H-Y podcast. Check it out of LA. But what we do in trial is we make sure that when that jury goes back into the jury deliberation room, and that jury, we'll never see that jury again during the deliberation process. We want to make sure that they're empowered to take the action that we need them to take. That's the most important thing.
Because you can,
Good morning.
good morning. You can
Paddleboarder right there. Pretty cool. And so one way we do that, or one way I do that, is I make sure that jury knows that they're special. That jury is doing a function in society that's a very, very special function. Thomas Jefferson once said that serving on a jury is as important, if not more important, than serving in our armed forces and asserting and exercising your right to vote. And we use examples like that when we're picking a jury, when we're giving a closing argument, to let the jury know that what they're part of during this trial, it's bigger than just this trial. It's something that they should be honored to be doing, proud to be doing. It's a huge social responsibility. We're all relying upon them to. All right, you're welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So we do everything we can to empower the jury. We talk to them about the jury process. We talk to them about their functions as jurors, how our right to jury trial, how our legal system is so unique in the world, how it's different than any other country in the world, and we go about it that way. And so once that jury's empowered, then if we've put on the right evidence, if we put on the right facts, when they go back to the jury deliberation room, they're empowered to make the right decision. They're empowered to talk to their other jurors who don't get it and share with them why they need to step up and make the right decision. We also show jurors how to empower other jurors back in the jury deliberation room. We will tell them, look, if you're back there and Mrs. Smith, juror number 6, says, I don't get it. I don't see why money damages would make a difference. Well, then what we do, I'm a lawyer, trial lawyer from Southern California. The question is, am I a pastor? What we do is we give jurors ammunition to use, arguments to use, a rational analysis to use, and share with other jurors while they're back there. So we empower other people, other jurors, and give them the information they need to educate people back in the jury deliberation room who we're not going to have a chance to talk to again. So it's about empowering your audience. In the real world, outside the courtroom, I'm preaching, brother. Trying to preach Saturday morning. Got the caffeine going right there. Well, I can explain jury nullification. I'll do that on Twitter today. Follow me on Twitter at Mitch Jackson, and I'll shoot a link out to you on that very topic if you don't mind. So when it comes to what we're talking about today, the most powerful communication tip, which is more than just sharing a story, as I said earlier, it's about empowering your audience to take action. Then what you want to do outside the courtroom is when you're meeting with someone, if you're selling a product or a service, and it's going to cost your customer money to purchase, implement, or put into force your product or service, you're going to have to really focus on the benefits to that customer, but even more so, you're going to have to share stories about how Thomas Edison, although failing more than 1,000 times, hung in there, stuck with it, and created a product that we're all using and relying upon to this day. It's about taking risk. It's about thinking long term. It's about making a difference, not only in your company, but society. It's about empowering the person or people who will be purchasing your products and services. And that's how you get people to take action. Another example would be when you look at guys like Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg. These guys took risk. They took a chance when, frankly, everyone else didn't in their particular sectors, in their particular industries. Other people didn't go about it the way these guys did. And when you share examples and stories like this in a way where you're building confidence in your audience to take that next step, you're building confidence in your audience to take a risk, to take a chance, to spend money, to implement what you're selling or a product that you'd like to deliver to the company. It's kind of a pretty view, isn't it? then that's what will get them and empower them to take action. So another important aspect of empowering your audience has to do with giving the person that I'm shooting that way, guys. I'm shooting that way. Okay? Is to
Yeah, we can tell.
I can turn around. You want me to turn around?
You're sharing the view with somebody.
Isn't it awesome? This is just awesome. So, yeah, this is fantastic. So the other aspect is, with respect to your audience, the next thing you want to do is give the person you're speaking to, give your audience the power, the tools to go back to their decision makers and to share your message with them. So you're empowering your immediate audience. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for stopping by. I am enjoying my coffee. It's great. You're empowering them to go back to their decision makers and get them to pull the trigger and jump in and take the action that you're asking them to take. So it's kind of a two-part process. And once again, like I said earlier, that's what we do with jurors. We empower the jurors to have the ammunition, the tools, and the arguments so that when they're back in the deliberation room, they can continue the dialogue of getting the jury to do what we want them to do. You can do the same thing outside the courtroom. So, in my humble opinion, that is the ability and need to empower your audience to take action is the most critical aspect of communication, especially when you're selling a product or a service. And if you guys have any questions, if you enjoyed today's communication tip from Dana Point Harbor, tweet it out, reshare it. I try to do this a couple of times a week. Most of my live streams are shared on Twitter, @Mitch Jackson. I also have a new blog where I'm sharing live streams, and that's streaminglawyer.com. So where is everybody today? Where are you guys watching from? What part of the world? This is Southern California, Orange County, California. Dana Point Harbor. I'm looking that way. Saturday morning, probably about 8:30, 8:45. Oops, I missed that. Was that Denver? And that's about it. If you guys are interested in reading more about empowering your audience, if you go to mitchjackson.com, my communication tips blog, you will, and you use the search bar, you'll find an article there in more detail, give you more specific examples, in addition to specific posts, written posts, video posts, podcasts, going into more detail on the other aspects of storytelling, of developing rapport, of using body language, using demonstrative evidence, things like that to help communicate your message and why you want to go about doing all that. So anywho, that's about it today, or at least for this morning on this particular topic. Remember, the most important thing about selling a product or a service, communicating, sharing your message, it's all about empowering your audience. Okay, guys? Remember that, and good things will happen. My name's Mitch Jackson. It's Saturday morning, Dana Point, California, and we'll see you guys. Make today a masterpiece. Bye-bye.